So I guess it's about time for a Star Wars rant. Hello everyone, you are watching the rant, and well, as you can see, we are doing a Rise of Skywalker rant, and it's been a while since the movie's been out, so I figured I'd finally put my 2 cents in, just want to get my thoughts and feelings about this horrible film out there. And well, let's get started. So the only thing I could say I really connected to was the first 25 seconds of the movie, where we get the title and the music bursts in, that I can always connect to. But the rest of it, no. It was a complete and total pile of whatever. They threw stuff in there just because, I don't understand why Rey needs to be a Palpatine. I don't understand. It would have been better if she had no connection really. She was just a Force sensitive that was just Force sensitive. It does happen. There are other beings out there that are probably Force sensitive that we haven't met yet, but yet we only want to focus on this one girl. Well, if we're going to focus on this one girl, let's just actually give her a more interesting backstory, or no backstory at all. She's just a random girl who's here to fight now. It kind of happens. It's what happened with Han Solo, is it not? He was just this random smuggler, and then he became a big part. It's all about the character build-up, and they did not do that whatsoever throughout all 3 movies. They made her overpowered the entire time. She beats Kylo Ren every single fight, and that's why there can't be a connection to her, because how can you have a hero to look up to that never suffers defeat or real loss? She doesn't really know what it's like to, I couldn't protect them, the way she lost Luke, it's not like she could have saved him. There was nothing she could do about that. And same with Leia. There was nothing she could do about that. So I don't know, it's just really hard to watch this movie. The first time I tried to watch it, I fell asleep and I was in and out for a little bit. But I couldn't get into it, so I watched it a second time. Was actually able to finish it without falling asleep. And well, it's just wow. That scene where we think Chewie's dead because she shot Force lightning and all that. It was just really, that was more than a hint, that she's a Palpatine. But the fact that she was able to shoot Force lightning just because she's a Palpatine, that's kind of dumb. Palpatine had to even be taught. They're just giving her these Force powers just because. Palpatine didn't shoot Force lightning more than likely on his first day. Come on, he wasn't taught that. If you're gonna be taught something, they don't care about the rules of Star Wars anymore. If you're going to learn the Force, you have to learn it. It doesn't just pop up in your head. What newly discovered Jedi is gonna say to themselves, you know what? I'm reaching out with the Force and I'm gonna shoot Force lightning right now. Why would you think of that? No. They can act as if, it was her rage, her emotions, blah, blah, blah. Either way, it's all BS. It is. Did Obi-Wan Kenobi shoot lightning out of his hands when he was witnessing Qui-Gon Jinn's death? I don't think so. I really don't. So, granted, it did help him defeat Darth Maul, though. It did. It made him a little stronger and stuff. It was said before, I believe, in the graphic novel for Phantom Menace. But anyway, I liked Kylo Ren's helmet. I wish we got that at the end of episode 8 instead of the beginning of episode 9. To be honest, I wish that we discovered Palpatine a lot later in the movie. It was the first thing that we got, and that's a whole other thing to talk about, Palpatine surviving, and just the fact that he's back and he was able to amass all of these Star Destroyers and everything else. It's just come on. You guys are really just trying to bring in fans, fill in those seats, and it's showing that the movie's not doing well. It didn't do well. I don't know if it's still in theaters. I really don't care. It really is a sad story. It's not our story for Star Wars. It's their story, and we don't like it, and it shows. But the only thing that I did like was the fact that they made Finn Force sensitive. He definitely should have been Force sensitive from the get-go. That's what I've always said. You know, I mean, Rian Johnson threw it out in episode 8, but I guess maybe JJ brought it back. Who knows who, you know, brought that back, because there were so many hints that were given. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But let's move on. So honestly, let's move on to Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren, him turning to the light side, I saw it happening, and it was honestly because I don't really feel like that talk with Han got him to turn to the light side. I honestly, like I've said before, he's gonna see Palpatine and realize he's not gonna be able to beat him no matter what. So yeah, it's just, oh man, why is Palpatine alive? Why? It just, you know, I know he was an extremely strong Force user, I know, but to be able to survive the Death Star exploding seems a little bit far-fetched for me. I mean, yes, like he said, the dark side can grant you powers that are considered to be unnatural, but it's not, I don't know, it seems really, really far-fetched for me that he was able to survive it. But even if he did, I don't think he would go the route that he did. I mean, if he has this entire army to use at his own disposal, why not just ambush everybody and take over again? Why would he purposely bring Rey in to try to kill him so he can live through her? How would that even work? I mean, he's saying all that, and then he's sucking the Force energy out of them or whatever, and then he's rejuvenated, and he's big and bad again. Like, what? How does that make any sense? So why are you saying you want her to kill you so you can live through her if you're able to do this out of nowhere? And if you are able to do this, why didn't you find Force sensitives already? With all those, if those were even people, who knows if it was like hollow projections or whatever, but no matter what, Palpatine still had people under his thumb. So if he was able to do this to rejuvenate himself, you would think that he would have them on the hunt for all kinds of Force sensitives just to bring him back. Am I wrong? I mean, that's what I would do if I was Palpatine. That doesn't really seem like a bad plan. I mean, come on. What, did he need Rey's Force energy and Ben Solo, or aka Ben Skywalker, because, you know, he's got the Skywalker bloodline in him? But, you know, it's terrible. It's terrible. You know, we can't try and say, oh, he only needed their Force energy. That's the only thing that can bring it, like, rejuvenate him. No. It's Force energy in general. Maybe he needed a certain amount, and they were the best two to get it from, because they're the two strongest next to him at this point. But either way, it's still terrible, people. There's no reason for it whatsoever. That whole thing makes no sense at all when you really think about it. The fact that he's saying he'll live through her as if he's going to take over her body or something like that. And then he sucks out their Force energy. I mean, come on. How does that make sense to anyone? Please tell me. Please tell me in the comments how that makes sense at all. Okay? Please. Pretty please. And then, you know what? Let's talk about the Knights of Ren. They are a very big disappointment. They're Force sensitives, which I was hoping for. Awesome, cool. But seriously, they looked like characters out of Mad Max or something. You know? All the weird weapons and stuff. I mean, I can understand that he was trying to have them earn their lightsabers, but at the same time, it's just, what's the point? You know? What's the point of carrying those stupid weapons? I mean, it's just, I don't know. I wanted more from them. They didn't get like any screen time except for when Kylo Ren was fighting them. And even then, it was really quick. It was extremely quick. If you ask me, this whole movie was rushed. It really was. Like, I know JJ didn't have a whole lot to work with the way Rian Johnson left things. But either way, we should have had what Obi-Wan Kenobi has described this movie. He saw the future. Another perfect landing. You know? I mean, I'm not gonna say that it was exactly like what happened in Revenge of the Sith, because with Rise of Skywalker, the ship blew up. There's many survivors still somehow. And JJ sat up and said, "Oh, another happy landing." But that's not what really happened. It's very sad, you know. They wanted to make Rey the number one. They could have did that, but build up to it, you know. It's as if they just wanted it all rushed. And if you wanted to sell it to us fans that love Luke, love Han, love Leia, love Chewie, love C-3PO, love R2-D2, you should have done better. I mean, like I've said before, Disney and Lucasfilm could have learned from watching one season of Cobra Kai, and they would have seen how it's actually done, bringing an old story and a new story and mixing it together. I mean, I've said this plenty of times. I know I'm going to rant about Cobra Kai a bit, but seriously, the fact that they had Daniel and Johnny's problems trickle down to the teenagers, you know, like their kids, their friends, you know, they're all getting their own personal problems. It's just, it was so well put together. It's so well done. You can tell they take their time with the story because they actually care. I mean, but with this, it's the Force is female, and that's it, folks. I mean, that's how it feels, and it was just wrong. It was wrongly done. We all know this. Hopefully, if they try to do any projects in the future, they will tread carefully. Maybe we could get I would love to get a Qui-Gon Jinn and an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, you know, like when they were young. I mean, it's not like they can't de-age them, like even just the slightest bit. I mean, they're not extra old. It wouldn't be that hard to make them look the ages that they were, so who knows? Or maybe a Yoda movie. It'd be cool to get a Yoda movie. It definitely would. You know, see his master. I mean, you hear so much about Yoda's master. Well, I've heard a little bit about Yoda's master, you know, on YouTube. I didn't read any of like the EU stuff like I've stated before, but either way, I would love to be able to see that kind of stuff. I would give us a Palpatine movie even, you know? Let us see Darth Plagueis. That would be pretty awesome. Let us get Knights of the Republic or Darth Bane, you know? There's so many different stories that they could pull from, but it's not canon, even though they pull so much from the non-canon material. So get your heads out your you-know-whats, and pretty please, just stop with all of the agenda pushing and just tell the story, okay? That's all that really needs to be done with movies, is you tell this story and you give us characters to invest in. You make us feel like we're a part of it. That's what we want. We want to be able to immerse ourselves in that universe, okay? That's what draws fans. That's what gains fans. That's what gains a following, is we want to feel immersed in that universe ourselves. And we're not getting that with these movies. So hopefully, you know, we can, I don't know, like people try to say about Phantom of the Menace, look past it all, forget about it, and act like it didn't happen. Even though it did happen. We all watched it, we all saw it, we all heard it, we all curled up in a ball and cried in a corner, but hey, life goes on. I mean, I didn't curl up in a ball in a corner, only that I also ate a bucket of ice cream, but that's a secret. I'm gonna delete that part. No, I'm not. Anyway, so Rise of Skywalker, it was just a horrendous movie. You know what? Let me talk about the big sky battle. The big, starship battle that they had at the end. It was absolutely ridiculous. They were getting massacred by these Star Destroyers because, of course, they have Death Star cannons on them. And then, out of nowhere, Lando comes in with a whole bunch of people that all of a sudden want to help. All of a sudden, all these people want to help just because Lando went and got them. So maybe we should have had someone actually go look for Lando. But at the same time, I don't know. I mean, it's just like I said, cash grab this, cash grab that. Rise of Skywalker, you did not do it for me. And none of these Disney Star Wars films have done it for me. I liked Rogue One, but that's honestly 100% based off of both Darth Vader scenes. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, I did like how they showed people, just the rebels ambushing the stormtroopers. That part I definitely enjoyed. They showed guerrilla tactics, like the kind of tactics that they had to use to fight against the Empire. So, which was pretty cool. It really was. But the scenes with Darth Vader, you cannot tell me. You cannot tell me you didn't want to jump out of your seat. Luckily, I watched it at home, so I was able to jump out of my seat and jump up and down with excitement, okay? Because that part at the end of the movie, oh my gosh. Just replaying it in my head for a second. Hold on. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, I don't really know what else to say about Rise of Skywalker anymore, except for, thankfully it's over. I knew it was going to be bad. I always said it was going to be bad, even though people try to tell me that there's hope, and I told them that there isn't because there's so little to work with. I mean, denial can only get you so far. Live in reality. I mean, man. You really could have tried to save some more of the ship there, JJ. You really could have, but you crashed it and you burned it. All of it. Okay, you're no Anakin Skywalker. You can't crash land half of a ship and still be okay. So sad. So, on that note, folks, I'm going to be ending this YouTube video right now. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, and if you want to comment, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, the end of the Skywalker saga. And as always, folks, y'all keep on ranting.